Cardano family, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Thank you so much for the love. Let's take a look at what's happening with the price of Cardano as of November 24th. So, as you can see across the board, we're seeing a nice bounce across the board. Multiple coins up double digits, as you can see across the board. Over the last 1 hour, to be exact, we've seen a little bit of a minor pullback. As you can see, some coins are down right now, but as far as the bigger time scale is concerned, we have seen quite a nice bounce. Cardano also saw a bounce of about 2.4%, which again is something worthwhile noting. Looking at the price right now, 42.5 cents, up 2.5% on the Bitcoin side of things as well. Valuation at about $15.6 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume approaching $1 billion. Before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. We're going to start off with none other than the Bitcoin dominance. And you can see for yourself, Bitcoin dominance literally since yesterday has seen quite a sharp pullback. If you want to put this into perspective, we were sitting at 59.37%, and right now we're sitting at 58.74%. Almost, not exactly, but almost a percentage in terms of difference, which again is always nice to see. But yeah, obviously dominance going down, and Bitcoin, of course, in return, actually had quite a nice day today. We were able to break out of that $88,500 level that I spoke to you guys about yesterday. We came up to 89,000, kind of saw a little bit of a rejection as to be expected because there is some resistance at that range. But we're seeing a little bit of a pullback right now, but due to the fact that, we did see Bitcoin breaking out today while dominance pulled down, that is obviously going to have a positive impact on altcoins, and you can really see that altcoins really did see a nice day. Some were up double digits, but obviously due to the retracement a little bit, that needs to be factored in. But let's take a look at what's happening with ADA. Yesterday's update, obviously, I spoke to you guys about how the Cardano price was lagging behind the broader market. Today, one thing to keep in mind is that we did see Cardano price see a little bit of a bounce, which again we'll definitely take, rather than Cardano not showing any signs of positive price action, even though the network is back up and running. But I still do believe that has had an impact in terms of confidence, because let's face it, confidence right now is already rock bottom in my opinion for crypto. Of course, those type of things can have an impact. So let's take a closer look at ADA and really understand what we're looking at. So as far as the price of ADA is concerned, you could see for yourself on the hourly time frame, where as of now we're able to remain above that key support at 40 cents. We actually came up to 42 cents. You could see we retested that exact same resistance, if you want to put it at this way, when we were below it. But of course, when we were able to break above that, that played it as a support. You could see we tested that support right at the neckline, and we saw the bounce. So one thing I want you guys to kind of keep in mind is, from the support itself, we did see ADA go up 8%. So one the pretty much my main point that I'm trying to bring up here is the fact that ADA did not lag. Meaning, if you saw Cardano price still kind of hovering around this key range, or potentially breaking below this key support line, that would have showed weakness. But you can't make that statement now, because of course ADA did go up 8%, which is something nice to kind of keep in mind. From our daily high at 43.4 cents, we have seen a retracement of about 1.76%, but that shouldn't be a big surprise factor, because of course Bitcoin also, let me show you guys Bitcoin on a closer time scale. Bitcoin has also seen a little bit of a pullback. As you can see for yourself, we were sitting at the likes of $89,226. We have seen a little bit of a retracement, but Bitcoin so far, has not been looking too bad pretty much since we broke out of this key resistance at $86,000. But time and time out, we've spoken about $86,000 price point. I want you guys to pay very close attention to that, because you can see we broke above here, got supported by that exact same key range, and then obviously saw that breakout today up to $89,262. We're seeing a little bit of a retracement, but I do personally project that Bitcoin could potentially get back into the point 50 zone. Might see a rejection, wouldn't be surprised. There is a significant amount of resistance around that key range, but ultimately, that is a target that I'm currently looking at for Bitcoin. But with that said, ADA's price holding quite nicely, especially with this bounce that we're seeing. As far as targets are concerned, let me kind of zoom out for you guys to give you guys a little bit of a better visual as to what's going on. Obviously, we have some resistance around 44 cents, most importantly, around 45.83 cents. That's a level to be watching out for right now. If you were to ask me, that itself is a move of about, you could say, 7.7%, a very realistic target, in my opinion. Obviously, if Bitcoin is able to push to some of these levels and, dominance continues to show weakness, I think that could be a nice, factor for, ADA. And I think ADA could realistically, start heading up to some of these key levels, and breaking above that takes us back up to the major resistance at 50 cents, which I've been talking to you guys about for quite some time. So that's my overall outlook on ADA right now. With that said, I saw some comments coming in yesterday saying, Crypto ZX, you're talking about this wave completing, which again is my personal opinion. I think, this wave is completed. But some people are talking about dead cat bounce. That's why I talked to you guys about market confirmations. Confirmation for me would be around the $100,000 price point. Highlighted this on the channel before. Until then, we could still see, swings. It's don't expect, even if the market is to, shift back into the bullish trajectory, which I personally think, I wouldn't be surprised if it were to do that. This is quite a sharp pullback, the largest one since we've seen last year. You guys can see 30% here, 32% here, and almost 40% here. So it is, the biggest retracement that we have seen. But, a lot of people think we're just going to do this. That's not how it works. You will see market going up. You will see retracements along the way. You will see shakeouts. But ultimately, my projection is that, I personally think, market could start pushing towards the upside, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see flush. That is one thing, obviously, we will kind of want to factor in. You might see market makers stepping in, obviously, to shake out the longs, the shorts, so on and so forth. So those are factors that we will obviously want to consider. Me personally, I am starting to be more optimistic about the space now because of this pullback. But again, that doesn't mean, I'm not looking for confirmations. Confirmation is very, very important. That's how you want to do technical analysis. You can't just, pinpoint a specific target and be like, yeah, that's where we're going. That's not how it works. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. What are your overall projections on ADA? Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for the love. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX and peace.